Brother, please let us know for last thoughts, our listeners live and on podcast.
All right, we know that I do joke quite often about my attempted escapes from the psych ward, but in all seriousness, the psych ward gang is seriously my idea of representing the military. Representing mental health in the military community. So if you happen to run into any type of mental health crisis or emergency, do not be ashamed nor afraid to dial 988, press option 1. Again, just as I had to do when I was in a moment of crisis, do not be ashamed nor afraid to dial the digits 988. Then press option 1 if you find yourself in a similar mental health crisis. Hello and welcome to episode 119 of the WarDawg Trail podcast. I am your host, Sergeant WarDawg, and I'm joined by
Grandma 311.
All right. Now, today we have two very special guests, all right, which they're definitely going to reach our veteran community, our war veteran community. Now, personally, as I've gotten older, days since the war, it's been a struggle to find energy sometimes to deal with the neck issues, back issues. I now have screws in my back. I now have a metal disc in my neck. It gets harder. It gets harder to carry on as we did back during the war and back during our most physically fit days. But today we're going to discuss options, and we're going to inform you as well on different ways in which you can treat your body and men's health from our two experts today. But before we bring them to the stage, let's go over today's announcements. First off, you can visit our website, sergeantwardawgtv.com, as well as the Facebook page, YouTube channel, and Instagram page, Sergeant WarDawg TV. Okay, my book, which is the same name as this podcast, The WarDawg Trail, A Marine Rifleman's Struggle with War and PTSD, has now been out for a month now. You can find it at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Walmart, or Books A Million. Okay, our nonprofit, campdoghouse.org, can be found in Central Florida. There, we own land, and we've owned land for about 5 years now, but now we're looking to convert it into a homeless veterans camp, where we would like to bring out RVs and campers so that we can house 5 to 10 homeless war veterans. Be sure to check out campdoghouse.org so you can see what we are planning and what we are trying to do for Camp Doghouse. All right, we are brand ambassadors for Reaper Apparel Co. So you can use our code Sergeant WarDawg TV for 10% off your entire order. We are also brand ambassadors for Hyperion Munitions. So when you hear us discuss companies like T6 Firearms, Oriskany Arms, Veteran Ammo, or the Precise Trigger Control, you know that we are speaking about Hyperion Munitions products and their sister strategic companies. All right, last year we won an award from Corporate Livewire, Veteran Support Nonprofit Organization of the Year. This year, already we have won 2 awards. From Global Health and Pharma, as a part of the Mental Health Awards for 2024, we won Best Veteran Mental Health Awareness Network for 2024. Also, from Acquisition International Magazine in the UK, we won Veteran Welfare Outreach Nonprofit of the Year for 2024. Remember, each Saturday night, you can catch me live on DV Radio, that is Dysfunctional Veterans Radio, at dvradio.net, where I am a co-host with other members from each branch, where we talk as we did back in the barracks on their Barracks Talk podcast. Any veterans issues or joking and having dark humor, you can find on DV Radio. That is Dysfunctional Veterans Radio. All right, these are the outlets that you can find the audio podcast as well as the video podcast. Today's guest as a veteran also qualify. Well, actually, they both qualify as what we call military ballers. All right. Our unsung military heroes who might not always get a chance to be heard or to have their sacrifices noticed, but we notice them here on our military ballers segment of the WarDawg Trail podcast. As always, this is the WarDawg Trail, episode 119 with myself and Grim 0311. All right, without further ado, we now bring to the stage Dr. D and Creed from Operation Phoenix Men's Health in Florida. We have both the CEO and the co-CEO, experts in men's health. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so
really
much.
Appreciate it. We're actually both co-CEOs equally.
Okay.
Nice to meet you, both of you. And by the way, before we get started, Sergeant WarDawg, thank you for all you've done for our fellow service members. This what you guys are doing is amazing.
It's badass.
Right.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now, if you don't mind, to start us off, let's talk about Operation Phoenix Men's Health and when it began and where you're located again.
All right. Well, it originally began more of an online coaching thing for vets, but then it kind of morphed into men's health. And Dr. D here has always been wanting to create a clinic. And I thought, you know what? It's time to join forces and to see if we could be more powerful as two instead of two different people doing our own different things. So that's something you want to talk more about, Dr. D?
Absolutely. One of the things I've noticed ever since I started out with my medical training is that men have been marginalized. Men have been treated as second-class citizens, and I got really sick and tired of it. I got tired of men having testosterone issues and not being taken seriously, and other health issues and not being taken seriously. So I wanted to step forward and to be sort of the voice crying in the wilderness. I wanted to help men and take what y'all are going through as we get more and more mature, take that really seriously and help treat.
All right. Right on. Right on. I like that. I'm not used to having a female as our advocate like that. So I'm over here like, hell yeah, that's what's up. That's what I like to hear.
Now you can see why I decided to join forces with Dr. D, because I was thinking, I still want to make this for men, and she is the perfect advocate for this. So why not?
Right on. Right on.
Okay.
And we also really want to appreciate both of you as veterans. Really appreciate your sacrifices and your commitment to our country and our way of life.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right.
So you know, the services, I thought it would be a good idea to mention the clinic that we are establishing. We just got the keys to the clinic. So that was something that was a big victory for us, but we won't be opening the doors for a couple of months because, as you know, it takes time to get everything ready. We're tentatively looking for an grand opening date of June 29th, but again, that's tentative. We'll see if we'll be ready by then. But the services we'll be offering have to do with erectile dysfunction, testosterone optimization, physique transformation, human performance, recovery, regeneration, cardiovascular health, brain enhancement, and long COVID treatments.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Now, I have to admit, I am seriously looking into the testosterone replacement or injections. I've been thinking about doing it to boost my energy for a while now. Do you mind initially? I know you do so many services. Can you start us off by talking about what you just mentioned with testosterone and how to deal with that as we age?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
why it's
this
so
is,
important.
oh, yes, absolutely. Bro. So this is where it started out with the men's health clinic was I noticed that a lot of men, I'm an internal medicine physician, I noticed a lot of men would go to their doctors and say, I'm just not feeling great. And you might be in your 40s, even your 30s, your 50s, and the doctors are not taking you seriously. And they won't even test you. And if they do test you, they say, oh, you're at 230, you're fine, you're within the limits. But here's the issue. These limits have been brought down from what was normal. So what your grandfathers were experiencing back in the day was actually normal. What y'all are experiencing just due to stresses, modern life, and everything like that is abnormal. And it's something that needs to be addressed. So it's not anything that any man should be ashamed of. We are just have so many stressors your grandfathers didn't even have.
And if you don't mind my mentioning, Dr. D, I read an interesting statistic about that guys in their 20s today have about the same testosterone level not too long ago from those who were in their 60s in 2000.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. That's
Exactly.
crazy.
So this is why it's nothing to be ashamed of. And this is why it's so critical to be an advocate for men's health, because I have different methods in my treatment that I can use. Different medications, for example, I use enclomiphene, which enables a man to produce his own testosterone and to be able to maintain fertility. So if you still want to keep a family, then that's a really good one. And I also use testosterone formulations that don't require a needle, and you could take it by mouth, a pill, and it actually helps you maintain your fertility as well and up your testosterone.
And neither of those will suppress your testosterone like most TRT would.
Really? Really? Okay.
Great.
So what is the science behind that? How long has that science been researched?
Oh, science has been researched for many, many years, but they're now coming up with really good formulations. So you don't have to go for your several times a week or weekly injections of testosterone and then experience that up and down and all the stuff that a lot of men who've been doing the injectable testosterones have experienced.
Yeah, and I don't know about you guys, but I would rather keep my testicles the same size and not watch them shrink away into tiny little raisins because I'm taking a conventional TRT.
Right. Now, what are some of the downsides of the shrunken testicles and stuff like that? 'Cause I know there's a lot of individuals.
That is the downside.
Apparently, man, there's a lot of people doing it, and it's like, yo, do you not care about that?
Yeah, I know. I mean, when you're taking the conventional testosterone TRT, you basically say bye-bye to your natural production.
Okay.
Exactly.
And that affects kids, having kids and stuff like that.
It sure does. So if you
I think we got a lag. Did we lose the bow?
Let me try to bring her back.
Okay, here we go.
We're back. Yeah. So that's why I started researching the best methods that men can use to help them achieve their goals, to feel fantastic, to be able to maintain their own testosterone secretion as much as possible, and to be able to have a family if they want to.
Okay. And so the oral testosterone therapy is on par with the pellets and injections and stuff.
Absolutely. And in fact, one of my patients just recently went from a testosterone of 290s above 600 with one of my medications. So
his own testosterone, not fake hormones, just his own natural hormones.
Right. Okay. Nice.
in weeks, It took about 3 weeks.
Really? Okay. Now let's. I'm sorry. Now, can we talk about for veterans specifically, and everything we're bringing up is not just tailored towards veterans. We do have some non-veteran listeners and stuff, but specifically veterans. We're out in the field. We're up early. We have late hours. We're working nonstop. Physically. Just hardcore working. Even if it's long hours out in the field. They're kind of getting out the military. And kind of stopping it. A lot of that stuff plays a lot of stress on the body. So how does that kind of, deal with it?
Well, the thing is, there's no way around it. If you're not getting the sleep you need, there's no biohack you could think of that's going to be able to make up for your sleep loss. I mean, sure, nutrition can play a role, mindset, how you deal with stress. That could all help if you're chronically sleep deprived. But there's been studies that have shown sleep deprivation is one of the number one causes of testosterone decline. In fact, one study showed a group of guys who were an average age of 24 years old. Okay, these are young guys, and over an 8-day period, just over 1 week, these guys who were sleeping less than 6 hours a day, 6 or less hours a day, dropped their testosterone by about 15%. Now that's guys in their 20s. What about guys who are in their 30s, 40s, 50s? What about if there are other factors like stress or poor diet or other issues? You combine that with the sleep deprivation, and I'm sure it's going to be a lot worse than 15%. So to answer your question, I mean, the best you could do if you're in a situation like that where you're just not getting the sleep you need is just to make sure your diet, your mindset, how you deal with stress, your exercise activities, proper recovery are all programmed in so that hopefully it could help mitigate the odd hours that are demanded of us.
And we also co-authored a book.
Yeah, sleep victory is what we call it, and we lay out all of those issues. In fact, we'll be happy to show you a link so that your viewers could access that after the show, okay. Or in fact, during the show we'll mention it.
Great.
I really wanted to mention a saying that I always heard in the infantry. All right. I always used to hear guys say, 1 year in the grunts ages your body 4 years, which would mean a guy with a 4-year enlistment actually has about a 12-year-old additional year body. Does anyone have any kind of sayings on that? As far as, infantry guys carrying packs all the time, running, do you think that ages the body a little more, like combat and that sort of thing?
Well, it definitely does contribute if you don't have methods in place to counteract it. Like, have you guys ever heard of the knees over toes guy?
No.
Yeah, he has his own YouTube channel. He shows people how to strengthen your knees so you're resistant to things like rucking, so you don't have shot knees the rest of your life. And as an example of what he teaches and what we've learned in the scientific literature in the last few years, everybody thinks that you should never have your knees over your toes because it can cause problems to your knees. Well, it turns out that's actually therapeutic for your knees, provided you do it gradually. You don't just shock your body if you haven't been used to that type of training. And there are other knee exercises you could do to make your knees more resilient. And as a result, both Dr. D and we both engage in weekly rucks. We do all kinds of activities that most people think, oh, you can't do that anymore, especially if you've been in infantry. And I've been in infantry for years. And yeah, I've had knee problems just like the next infantryman has had. I know exactly what you're talking about. But when you do some of these exercises, they could help mitigate the effects of the wear and tear that you experience as an infantryman, or jumping out of, doing parachuting, things of that nature. There are therapeutic exercises you could do to help mitigate that. And we offer in our clinic some of those therapies that could take things to the next level, like PRP, if Dr. D, if you want to go into further detail.
Right. So I have a technique in which I could take out somebody's own blood, spin it down, put in some more growth factors, and then inject it back in the body. And it helps to regrow some of those tendons that might have gotten all jacked up, all inflamed. Yeah. It really helps. Yeah, it's significant.
Yeah, one of the problems a lot of military guys do is they immediately go for the Motrin, the ibuprofen, which is not entirely their fault because that's what the medics and the corpsmen are trained to give them whenever they have these musculoskeletal issues. The problem with that is emerging research is now showing that it actually interferes with the healing process, with the regeneration, because inflammation, while not all inflammation is the same, chronic systemic inflammation you get from smoking or eating processed foods or having stress, that is bad type of inflammation. But the localized inflammation you get from an injury, that's a different type of inflammation. And if you get rid of that with Motrin or ibuprofen or ice, you short circuit the healing process, because while not all inflammation is healing, think about this, all healing requires inflammation. So if you get rid of inflammation entirely from an injury, you're not going to heal effectively. And then many times people who have that injury, it won't heal effectively, and they'll have recurring problems with that same injured ankle or that same knee problem for years and years and years, because it never really effectively healed to begin with ibuprofen. Whereas what she's talking about, the PRP, if you want to expand a little bit more into that, why is it so different from the typical ibuprofen?
Well, it actually uses your own growth factors. So it's been shown to heal, accelerate healing. And they've been using it in sports teams now for years and years. But I mean, can I get a witness? How many people have heard above the belt Motrin, below the belt foot powder? That's military medicine for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the medicine.
Right on.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard some of the the information about Motrin and how it kind of works negatively on the body. But that's important stuff for us to know, because especially as veterans, like you said, Motrin is the answer to everything.
Right.
You have blurry vision, take Motrin. It's crazy. I've actually had PRP on my knee. I did stem cell. I did it in conjunction with stem cell. And
really?
Yeah.
How many treatments did you take?
I did the stem cell. I did once, and then the treatments of PRP. They wanted me to do them annually. Well, annually. Then eventually once every 6 months. Then annually, and then probably once every 2 years, depending on. And I have not followed that regimen. I mean, PRP, I've taken it 3 times, and this was at least 6 years ago. I've taken 3 treatments of PRP, and I can say, for running a quarter mile, I was down for months. My knees stayed swollen. I couldn't do much. I mean, ice, Motrin, it didn't even matter. Taking a PRP definitely helped. It definitely helped.
Now, I know one of the better protocols is to take it 3 to 4 treatments and space it out about a month, maybe 6 weeks in between each treatment. So if you were only doing it once a year, or if that's what they recommended, then that really wouldn't be as effective as doing it, one treatment every week.
No, they recommended doing a little often starting off, and then kind of as you go, specifically because of the fact that I still ran a lot. Still did a lot of working out, but even now, dropping it back, the PRP has helped a lot.
One thing more I wanted to add before we move on to the next topic about Motrin. It also, since it interferes with the inflammatory process, those guys who take it after working out, all they're doing is shortchanging their muscle gains.
Yeah,
because it interferes. Hypertrophy or muscle mass, the development of muscle mass requires inflammation. And so when you shut that down, you're preventing your gains. So,
okay.
It's definitely important to know.
Well, Dr. D, we were originally talking about testosterone. Can you mention a little bit more about the peptides or the supplements you recommend to help with testosterone in conjunction with some of the other treatments you mentioned?
Well, sure. There are peptides. I just wanted to hear what the host has to say next. I could tell he's leaning forward, ready to ask the next question.
Well, I just You guys are the specialists that I could actually ask. How do you feel about kinesiology tape?
It's kind of variable what it can do. Some people really love it. Not a lot of people have gotten any sort of permanent gains from that or any sort of permanent effects. So it wouldn't hurt, but it's kind of falling out of favor now.
Okay.
I mean, it probably could be helpful, but I mean, I wouldn't look at it as the cure-all. It might be helpful to some degree, of course. What's your experience with it?
I was in a pretty bad car accident. So before they gave me the metal implants, it's kind of like you're saying, it was a temporary relief when I actually needed the 4 surgeries with the implants. So I was just wondering, I was wondering with your type of amazing therapies that you offer, how do you, did you even consider kinesiology tape to be effective at all?
Well, it's not something we offer in our services. We're not against it. It's just not what we would consider one of the more optimal ways to address those issues.
Right. Because the philosophy we kind of run on is what would treat the root cause and help you not have to worry about it at all.
Right. It's like the kinesiology tape is kind of helping you it doesn't address the root cause. It's kind of like holding you in the proper position while you still have the defect. You know what I mean? Right.
Okay. So you all aren't providing Band-Aid solution. You all are actually getting down to the serious root of the causes.
Absolutely.
You're trying to change people's lives.
Right.
Yes.
All right. I love
Great. Do you mind continuing sharing with us the other services that you provide that you were mentioning?
Sure.
Oh, yes. Now, I think one of the most critical services that we're going to be bringing on board is the ECP, and Creed can run with that.
Oh, yeah. It's external counterpulsation. Most people who talk about that often call it enhanced external counterpulsation, or EECP, but that's just the trademark name. But the ECP, which is a generic term, has to do with a machine that hooks up these pads around your lower body that act like blood pressure cuffs. But instead of just creating a continuous pressure, it deflates and inflates in sync with your heartbeat. And what happens is it provides enough pressure that's passive. It's non-invasive, to where the body is induced or stimulated to create collateral vessels throughout the body to every organ of the body. So if, for example, you have any clogged arteries, and a lot of people do, and they don't even know it, this creates new vessels so that the blood could bypass those clogged arteries and still get to the heart and get to your brain and your kidneys and everywhere else it needs to go. So naturally, if you have all these networks of new vascularity throughout your body, that could also give you an endurance edge as an athlete. So a lot of athletes are secretly using ECP to give them that tactical edge on the field. And some people in special operations, I believe, are also using this. And this is something that could help failing kidneys. It could help improve your brain enhancement. People who have cognitive impairment have found improvements across the board in executive function, recall, focus, concentration. Every area of their cognitive function has improved as a result of taking external counterpulsation. And the same thing with the heart. It doesn't treat every type of heart condition, but it does treat certain heart conditions. Some of the ones that it does treat have to do with stable angina, chronic stable angina, peripheral artery disease, and left ventricular dysfunction. Those are the things that it could address, and it's very successful with that. So people who've had heart attacks have used the ECP, and after 35 treatments, which is the typical protocol for heart patients, 35 one-hour treatments over a period of a few weeks, they've had close to 100% success rate. Very successful with that. And even long COVID patients who have heart problems, who have breathing problems, who have brain fog, who have low energy, chronic fatigue, inflammation, all those symptoms that are associated with long COVID have been able to reverse most of their symptoms with ECP. In fact, a lot of the guys who have had long COVID who were not able to work because of long COVID, after they're done their treatments, they're able to return to work, almost every single one of them, if not every single one. Now, there's a controversy, as you guys are probably aware, of whether or not long COVID has to do with the virus or if it has to do with post-vaccine syndrome. But that's another conversation for another day. So regardless of what's causing these so-called long COVID symptoms, the problem can be resolved with external counterpulsation. And one more thing to mention, there is a type of nerve called the vagus nerve, which has to do with regulating a lot of the physiological processes that are short-circuiting in long COVID patients. And external counterpulsation reactivates the function of the vagus nerve, which is one of the main reasons why a lot of their symptoms resolve. That plus the fact that it has new collateral vessels that are forming to every organ of the body. So it's an amazing pioneering technology. It's FDA approved. It's been out for decades, but they keep finding new purposes for ECP. It originally started just to help heart patients, but now it helps virtually everybody.
Okay, good. Okay. Now you already answered a couple of questions I had about it, but
erectile dysfunction too. Erectile dysfunction as well.
Really? Okay.
ECP, let me just mention real quick before you go into that, 93% increase in genital blood flow and 80% erection satisfaction in ED guys who go through ECP. Pretty amazing stuff.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's the reason for that is because since it's creating all these vascular networks, most ED patients have some type of vascular problem. About 80% of them are close to that. And correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. D. So whenever somebody has ED problems, it's kind of like a canary in the coal mine. That's a warning. Hey, if you got ED problems, if it's physiological and not psychological, if you have those problems, there's a strong likelihood that you have some clogging arteries or some type of cardiovascular problem starting to brew in the background. And so ECP kind of knocks two birds with one stone. It helps your heart and it helps erectile dysfunction all at the same time.
Nice.
Good
Okay.
deal.
Okay. So this ECP, I mean, I guess I can kind of build a correlation out, in my mind, but I guess it's good for people who probably drink real heavily, or, a lot of smoking, stuff like that, that impacts their body negatively, so ECP, they stop, start working out, they get on some type of plan that you all put them on. ECP could potentially help recovery from hard drinking, hard smoking, and stuff like that.
Potentially. I mean, obviously it would depend on the extent of the damage that they've incurred to their liver, but ECP will provide all the vascularity to the liver to help regenerate it as best as possibly can. It of course all depends on how much damage they've put on that liver.
Okay. So potentially still some type of benefit.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The liver has been shown to have amazing regenerative functions if you just give it a chance.
Yeah.
And also there's another technology we have that helps with ED besides ECP. It's called shockwave therapy. Dr. D, you want to elaborate on that?
Actually, we have a lot of different therapies for ED, for erectile dysfunction. And one of them is shockwave therapy because, as Creed was alluding to, 80% of men have problems with the cardiovascular. This is the number one killer of you guys, unfortunately. And this does show that if you've got the disease in your heart, you probably got it elsewhere. So that might be causing some of the problems. So the shockwave therapy, we have a device that you could use at home, in the privacy of your own home, that restores blood flow. And get this, 94% of the men who use it actually say that they have improvements.
All right.
So, I mean, it's just about as close to a cure-all as you can. You can pop that little blue pill, but it's only going to work temporarily, and you have to wait an hour and all the other stuff associated with it. But this is actually getting again to the root cause and being able to treat that.
Right. Now, keep in mind that treatment focuses specifically down there. It doesn't have the systemic effect that ECP does.
Right.
So that's for those who just want to focus on that, who don't want to go beyond. But either way, ECP or shockwave therapy are both highly effective.
Okay.
Now, my understanding. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Am my understanding ECP has a whole body effect?
Yeah, whole body.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah. It'll help your brain, your heart, your immune system. It'll lower inflammation. It'll help your kidneys. It'll help virtually every organ of your body. And it'll actually pretty much make you smarter. I mean, it enhances the brain and your heart, make you a better athlete. So if you're already working out and you combine that with ECP, it'll take your endurance performance to the next level.
Yeah, so it's better, faster, stronger.
Yep.
Right. And pretty much anybody can come in and kind of take advantage of this ECP.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And I'm about to take a trip up to Tallahassee come June.
Well, hey, definitely. And by the way, from what we've investigated, we'll be the only ones in Tallahassee offering ECP.
Okay. Nice. Now, has there been any type of ventures, cooperations with any type of groups to kind of assist veterans or anyone else to kind of obtain some of these? Because I know things like PRP, is not taken care of through the VA, through insurance, but there's just so much benefit to pretty much everything that you all are offering, and a lot of these things aren't taken, insurance doesn't cover, the VA hasn't really looked at it like, let's do this,
We plan on providing discounts for all veterans.
And furthermore, we're planning on trying to work together with the local VA in Tallahassee. And we're also planning on taking major insurances as well.
Okay.
And for whatever isn't covered, like he said, definitely getting payment plans together and discounts for veterans.
Great.
All right.
Now, do you all already have a website up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we do. Right now, it's still in construction, so there is a loading hesitation. Like if you click on a page, it may take 5 seconds to load. So we're addressing that now, and within a few days, it'll be resolved. But it is available to view if you'd like, and it is operationphoenix.com.
Okay. operationphoenix.com. Okay. Hey, I think there's something that me and Sergeant WarDawg probably, push out, when it's up there, kind of let everybody know.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
We appreciate that.
Nice.
Well, an additional question was, what can we expect in the future from Operation Phoenix Men's Health? Besides, congratulations on moving into your new building.
Thank you.
What else can we expect from Operation Phoenix Men's Health?
Well, one of the things that I am planning on doing is to provide advanced coaching for men. I'm starting off with focusing with some of the psychological causes for erectile dysfunction and getting to one of the things which is the most difficult for us as veterans, and that is being 100% truthful with ourselves and with each other, and also being able to go to that dark side that we try to bury, one of the most difficult things for us as veterans to face, and to be able to bring that to the light. So the training techniques that I'm going to be bringing, this coaching techniques, really have been demonstrated on thousands and thousands of men to help them to overcome a lot of the difficulties that we do experience as veterans.
Right. And I do want to kind of go into something real quick as well, because I know there's a lot of guys out there that's like, man, I got this doctor trying to tell me about, physical fitness and this and that. But you both have backgrounds in fitness. You all both have some type of veteran background. Correct. Can you elaborate a little bit on that doctor as far as your background, and you don't have to go into deep detail or anything like that. Just, that you do have the experience to actually know what it is you're talking about.
Yeah, we're actually both certified in the same certification. Interestingly, it's NSCA Tactical Strength and Conditioning, which is specific to the tactical community, whether that be military, firefighter, law enforcement. So we are specifically trained to deal with these communities when it comes to physical performance. And I also have my master's in sports or performance psychology. Dr. D, she has a PhD in health psychology. She's a physician.
All right.
And we've had multiple certifications in personal training and performance coaching. So we definitely have tried to unify everything with the mind and body when it comes to peak performance.
Plus, we're both Navy veterans and we're both Army veterans. And whichever commands we've been with, we've always been trying to help with the wellness, the fitness, the weight loss, the deployment readiness, all of those things. We've been actively engaged wherever we go, just trying to help our fellow soldiers and sailors. And Marines.
Yeah. I was a corpsman attached to the Marines, infantry, Fleet Marine Force corpsman with the Marines. So I can't forget about the Devil Dogs.
There you go. Right.
Right.
Nice.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we had to have today's guests on our Military Ballers segment of the WarDawg Trail podcast. Did you hear them say they were both in the Navy and the Army? You know how rare that is? You know how rare it is that Dr. D went on to become a doctor and Creed went on to get his master's, and they were both in the Navy and the Army. Do you know how amazing that is to be able to say that? Not many can handle or have the skill level to handle both branches, yet you both did, and that's amazing to me to have you on the show. Thank you. Salute. That's amazing.
Thank you, Sergeant WarDawg.
Thank you.
Hey, and I know you've been through multiple deployments. I know both of you have served your time. So, hey, hats tipping to you guys as well.
We appreciate y'all.
Yeah, appreciate it.
No problem.
Right.
We appreciate you all taking the time to come on here and explain all of this.
Yeah, hey, and anytime you guys want us back to go more deep dive in any particular area, you let us know.
Oh, definitely. You know, that'll be a definite, you know, because you know, there's a lot of individuals out there, you know, they're still working overseas, and, you know, testosterone, you know, therapy, you know, and stuff like that is a huge issue with a lot of guys working overseas. I've been overseas doing private high risk security for the past 11 years. And, you know, one of the things that they stopped was, you know, a lot of guys bringing needles overseas. You know, that's one of the things that they stopped, you know, so a lot of guys were like, man, how am I supposed to do this then? You know, I've been on this stuff. So now they have someone that they can reach out to not have to totally destroy their natural testosterone process. You know, someone they can go to for, you know, not just, you know, TRP, PRP, but also ECP, you know, and a bunch of other things. So yeah, hey, we'll definitely have you all back, you know, to speak a little bit more, you know, on further details. So I appreciate it.
Hey, Creed, I really want to let you know.
I think we lost him. I think they froze us. There we go. There we go.
I really wanted to let you know how big of a fan Grimo 311 is of yours. He's totally the individual that he let me know long ago. He was like, man, we got to get that guy. I want that guy.
Hey,
so as soon as we were able to find you on LinkedIn, as soon as we were able to find you on LinkedIn, we had to try to get you on the show because he pushed for us so hard. So again, we thank you both, Dr. D and Creed, for coming on the show today.
Appreciate y'all.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having us on.
All right.
No problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 119 of the WarDawg Trail podcast. Dr. D and Creed, have a great day, and thanks again for joining the show.
All right. Have a good one. Take care, Grim. Take care, Sergeant WarDawg.
All right.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, episode 119. Salute.